I want to get back now just to these voices that we can't hear enough of.
Seen investigations that cover children being purposely orphaned to mothers that they're temporarily giving up their children.
Ensuring more children.
Most people think of slavery and child labor as a thing of the past, but unfortunately some estimates believe that
every child is born with inalienable human rights. Children's rights are the things that every child should have or be able to do. All children are entitled of the same rights, no matter where they come from or who their parents are. We asked some children from the Children's Joy Foundation to tell us what they believe their rights are or should be. They illustrated these rights in a creative manner with the use of their pencils and colors. Here's what they told us.
Gusto mo magkaroon ng bahay?
Ito bahay. Bahay mo, di ba?
Gawin mo?
Bahay.
Bakit bahay?
Gusto ko magkaroon ng bahay.
And the drawing.
Kasi po gusto ko po magkaroon ng magandang buhay.
What education? Ano ba gusto mo maging?
Nurse po.
Ha?
Nurse.
Hindi.
Our team went to a school named St. Martha Kiddie Training Center for us to know the real importance of education among children. We asked teachers the essential of education and how it affects the future of the next generation.
Do you believe that every child has the right for education?
Yeah, of course. All agree.
Compare the children who go to school and those who are not. Do you think that their lives really depends on their level of educational attainment?
Okay, so it's all about out of school youth and the children who go to the school. Well, of course, mas malaki pa rin yung chance ng bata na maging successful sa buhay kung meron siyang pinag-aralan o kaya nag-aaral siya kaysa naman sa batang out of school yun. Kasi di ba, it's about education that will try to maximize our abilities or potential ng isang bata. Depende pa rin yan sa sipag, tiyaga, tsaka diskarte ng isang tao. May mga tao nga dyan na hindi naman nakapag-aral, as long as madiskarte sila, matyaga sa buhay, nagiging successful pa rin sila.
1 out of 10 in every Filipino aged 6 to 17 is an out-of-school child and youth. The 2016 Annual Poverty Indicator Survey showed the country has about 3.8 million, or about 10% of the 39 million Filipino children are out-of-school youth.
Sa tingin mo, ano yung karapatan mo bilang mag-aaral?
Yung karapatan ko bilang isang mag-aaral ay i-dream ko yung gusto ko. Parang persuade ko yung gusto ko kahit ayaw ng mga tao, basta gusto ko, gagawin ko. Tapos kahit maraming constructive criticism ako natatanggap, tutuloy ko pa rin. Parang persuade ko talaga yung dream ko. Parang walang makakapigil.
According to the National Statistical Coordination Board, the main cause of 3.8 million out-of-school children is poverty. It is well documented that poverty decreases a child's readiness for school. It is said that only 16% of low-income students are more likely to graduate in college, while 60% of the wealthiest students complete their studies and graduate.
Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. If we don't make a move in fixing our problem in education, then when?
CNN investigation has uncovered children being purposely orphaned. Mothers think they're temporarily giving up their children to be educated. Instead, they're sold to adoptive families who think they are taking an orphan in need. Randy K tonight has part one of our CNN exclusive investigation, Kids for Sale.
Children are known to be innocent. This makes them more prone to violence.
Ako po ay si Glenda Obligacion. Ako po ay isa sa mga social workers po dito sa City Social Welfare and Development Office.
Even though there are a lot of organizations and departments that protects children's safety, there are still incidents where they are abused physically, mentally, emotionally, and worst, sexually.
Sa IMOS, ako po yung in charge sa Children in Need of Special Protection. So, sino-sino yung mga CNSP na tinatawag. So, sila yung mga bata na abuse, physical, emotional, verbal, psychological, at saka sexual abuse. At yung iba may neglect.
According to Article 1 of Republic Act 7610, also known as the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act, it is hereby declared to be the policy of the state to provide special protection to children from all forms of abuse, neglect, cruelty, exploitation, discrimination, and other conditions prejudicial their development.
For example po ay yung bata po, kunyari sexual abuse, yung gumawa po nun is, let's say yung tatay niya po and sila na lang po dalawa. Paano po yung mangyayari dun sa bata if wala na pong yung magulang niya? Saan na po siya ito-turn over?
Sa bahay kalinaw sa PWD. Sila po ang magkahandle ng mga ganyang mga case for psychological evaluation, kasi iaano yung bata kasi baga tawag nito, nagkaroon ng trauma, so dapat ang DSWD ang magkahandle sa kanila. Tapos yung tatay naman, maaari siyang ikulong, depende rin yung yung halimbawa, kagaya ng sinabi ko, pag nasa over period siya, pwede na siyang ikulong. Pag wala naman, then fine.
Everywhere we look today, we can see the advancement of men. How the human mind has basically created, invented, and built a whole new world. Yet strangely, every time we have been on the field, I've wondered how that same mind continues to allow the exploitation of children across the world.
Parents are responsible for the protection of their children, but it is devastating to see that they are the one who makes their children's life miserable. This will show the real importance of family. Last December 18, 2018, we went to Children's Joy Foundation and we witnessed tons of children without families. Some of them have their parents in prison, some dead, some abandoned them completely, and some just couldn't support them anymore. We interviewed the owner of the said foundation to ask how much a family affects how a child behaves, thinks, and lives.
Yung mga bata po na yan, may mga family po sila.
Oo, may mga magulang sila. Sila yung mga abandoned, mga neglected. Sila yung mga nanghihingi sa mall, na nire-rescue, yung mga street children na mga normal lang sila. Wala sila mga kaso. Napabayaan na ng magulang.
Para po sa inyo, ano po yung parang kahalagahan po ng pagkakaroon ng pamilya sa mga bata?
Importante kasi talaga ang pamilya. Pinakalas na talaga itong desisyon na ito na ipapasok sa foundation ng isang bata na mawali sa magulang dahil sa kahirapan. Dahil ang iba sa kanila mga natukhang ang parents, mga nasa drugs, siyempre walang mag-aalaga, mapabayaan. Maganda na ipasok dito sa foundation at least nakakapag-aral sila.
Most families struggle from lack of interest. Statistics showed that most children run away due to the shortage of love from their families. A lot of teenagers seek independence from their parents because of the generation gap that causes misunderstanding.
Family is the single most important influence in a child's life. From their first moments of life, children depend on parents and family to protect them and provide for their needs. By nurturing and teaching children during their early years, families play an important role in making sure children are ready to learn when they enter school. Parents are not only responsible in helping their children grow, they are also responsible for their child's health. To see the situation of one of the hospitals in the Philippines, we visited Pagamutan ng Dasmariñas and observed how they handle children's health. In the Philippines, 1 out of 3 children under the age of 5 is stunted. This means that 300,000 children do not have the access of proper health care. Malnourishment is still the number one cause of death of an estimated 7 million children across the Philippines every year. Poverty is the leading reason of the lack of healthcare support of parents to their children. This includes the most important step of childhood immunization, vaccines.
Halagahan ng bakuna po sa mga bata. Napakahalaga ng bakuna. Kaya nga, newborn pa lang, meron ng mga bakuna nasa batas na kailangan may mga bakuna kailangan ibigay. Kasi, ang mga bakuna, prevention. Prevention is better than cure. So, kung maiwasan natin makapitan ng sakit, mas maganda. Dahil kung mas may sakit na, mas mahirap ng gamutin. So, prevention talaga para maiwasan yung mga ilang nakamamatay na sakit na pwede naman palang iwasan, hindi na lumala.
Vaccines have dramatically reduced the number of people who get infectious diseases and the complications these diseases produce. The most relevant example of vaccines is the anti-measles. There were about 3 to 4 million cases of deaths between the years 1953 and 1963 when anti-measles wasn't used worldwide. After the widespread use of vaccines, the amount of deaths decreased for about 95%.
Let's not risk our children for money. The life of a child is irreplaceable.
Children aren't just entitled to have a proper education, protection, a family, or even a good health. They also deserve to have fun. Do children have the right to play? Playing does not require wealth. It does not require fame. It does not ask you who you are or where you're from. Play allows children to use their creativity while developing their imagination, dexterity, physical, cognitive, and emotional strength. Play is important to healthy brain development. It is through play that children at a very early age engage and interact in the world around them. Play allows children to create and explore a world where they can master conquering their fears.
Anong pakiramdam niyo kapag naglalaro?
Masaya. Masaya.
Masaya. Ba't masaya?
Kasi nakakapaglaro kasama yung mga kaibigan.
Kaibigan niyo ba yan, yung mga katabi niya?
Opo.
Is niyo nga? Sa tingin niya parang paano na lang yung mundo natin kung walang paglalaro? Kunyari, lumaki na lang kayo, hindi kayo naglalaro.
Every child has the right to rest and leisure, to engage in play and recreational activities appropriate to the age of the child, and to participate freely in cultural life. April Monte, Joyce Ann Maggot, and Princess Lames are just 3 children among all the children in the world that can experience happiness by playing. These children's eyes didn't lie the moment they said that they were sad and prohibited to play. We tend to underestimate children's right to play, for we're all taught that the previous rights are much more important than playing. But little do we know that these are the things, the little things, that makes our children happy. It is clear that children are indeed the most innocent and precious human beings we should protect for the future. They deserve nothing but happiness.
Karapatan po nilang matutong magsulat at karapatan nilang matutong magbasa. Dahil sa ngayon, kailangan pong yung mga bata matutong mag-aral at para pagdating ng panahon, makaano sila ng magandang trabaho, diba?
Karapatan ko po mangaral. Siyempre rin po yung mag-aral ng
Education can promote progress, peace, and equality. In the digital age where information is easily sought, every children should receive the right to education to further their thinking skills. Educational institutions must work closely with families and other sectors of society to help bring the right of education worldwide. No children should ever be left behind in the drive towards transformation through education.
Parang pinaka nire-report dito. Sa apat na yun, actually, yung recently nakakalungkot man dito sa atin sa sexual abuse. At iba-iba ang nagiging perpetrator. Madalas, kamag-anak, minsan tatay.
Na-actionan po ba agad?
Oo naman. Min-actionan natin yun, tinutulungan natin, pinapaliwanag natin dun sa mga guardian, parents ng naabuso, kung paano yung proseso ng pag-report, paano natin mabibigyan ng justice yung nangyari sa bata. Like for example, coordination sa police, tapos coordination sa medical, kasi kailangan natin ng medico-legal para i-prove natin na may nangyaring sexual.
Every day, fresh, horrifying images are flashing across our screens. A 10-year-old dressed as a bride, marrying a man twice her age. A boy sitting at the back of an ambulance, trying to understand what just happened to him. A girl watching her brother go to school as she prepares for another day of housework. A boy's lifeless body washing up on a shore, far away from his home. Protection starts from their parents. They are responsible for their child's safety. But sometimes, they are the one who let their child be unsafe. They seldom and even abuse those innocent children physically, mentally, and emotionally. They shouldn't take advantage of their child's innocence. They should be the one who protects them and make them feel safe. If there is a case where there are no common interests between parents and a child, parents must try new things until they come across an activity where they can enjoy all together. When a family spends time together, communication would be easy. The gap of the generations won't stand a chance if a family is passionate enough to understand their differences. We all know the issue about Dengbaksha, the vaccines intended for dengue that has allegedly caused the death of children who had access with it. The stigma created by it went far in pushing Filipino parents that all types of vaccines are dangerous. The country needs more public medical center or hospitals so families who suffer from poverty can easily access healthcare for their children. The idea of some parents that checkups are not necessary unless the illness of their child is already severe should stop.
Karapatan nila kasi karapatan natin ang maayos na kalusugan. So kung hindi na-check up, hindi makikita ng doktor kung may problema ang bata. O kung maayos mo ng pagpapalaki, at least we can compliment the mother, the parents. At kung hindi, magabayan sila kung anong tapang dapat gawin para kung may makitang problem, maagapan agad. Kasi kapag hindi naagapan, malala natin makita yung situation, mas mahirap i-manage. Mas magastos at mas life risky. Mas risky.
Laughter of a child. It is the best thing you'll hear, for it is nothing but innocence.
I have the right to be heard. I have the right to be loved. I have the right to make friends. I have the right to grow up. I have the right to ask what's right. I have the right to have fun. I have the right to stand up for myself. I have the right to freedom. I have the right to go to school. I have the right to be healthy. I have the right to eat good food. I have the right to share. I have the right to play. I have the right to be who I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of the world, we ask you to join us today to become the collective voice of oppressed children across the world. In our fight against the injustice they had to endure every day, we are thankful with all of you individuals who have selflessly dedicated their voices, their time, their hearts, and for helping the world see light. We are seriously endangering our future, which is our children. There is a quote, "Being human is given, but keeping our humanity is a choice." So let's choose humanity. Let's choose to act now. Let's choose to ensure a better world for our children, their children, and the generations to come.
My wish.
My wish for children.
My wish for children.
My wish for children. For children.
Wish for children is freedom.
The freedom to think.
The freedom to live.
The freedom to think. Freedom to think.
Freedom to think, the freedom to live.
The freedom. To live.